Hi guys. Hello. I'm going to give it a sec for everyone to get on. Okay, Autumn, I'm not sure if there's a way that I can add you on. Hi. Yes, Autumn, you can just go ahead and type out the questions. I also have them here, but go ahead and type them or just copy and paste them over, and that will work perfect. Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be doing this. Okay, so Autumn has sent me just a list of questions, and then I also put together some material that I think will be super helpful for you guys. And I'm going to open up a message thread on Elite Legacy as well so that you can share your notes there. If you have additional questions, you can ask them there as well. And then I'm going to be posting like the apps that I talk about and all of that stuff. And so let me get that posted. And then you guys can jump back over to that once this is over. Hi guys. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in and start with Autumn's questions. And her first one is, she said, you see Harper, wave hi. You can wave hi. Okay, so right here. Okay, so she said, I think everyone's big thing is learning how you started out and how you got the following that you have and how we can get the most of our Instagrams with not as many followers. Okay. So here's the thing with Instagram, you guys, and how I've built my following is consistency and offering just really great content. And I think that that's my biggest tip for you guys is you have got to stay consistent. And right now, for me, Instagram stories is where I'm building my entire business. And I'm hardly ever even on Facebook anymore, you guys, because right now Instagram is blowing up for me. And so I have to stay there because that's how I'm enrolling everyone that I'm enrolling. Okay. And so when I got started, I just made sure that I always had a plan, and it's still the exact same thing today. So I have written down, on like Sundays or whatever day that you choose. Sundays work best for me. It's a day where, I plan out my week, not only just my schedule, but I also plan all of my social media posts. And that's something that I recommend that you do is take a day, plan all of your social media posts for the next week, or at least most of them, because you are going to get inspired throughout the week, and you're going to get amazing ideas. And I'm going to show you guys just some tips on Instagram of how you can save things and create collections and things like that as well. So when it comes to, starting out and building that following, people are looking for consistency. They're looking for great content. So you need to find out what does your audience, what are they wanting from you? And a way to do that is, through your Instagram stories by going live. Right now, and I have this written down, is going live on Instagram is huge. That's going to bump up your algorithm. Using videos in your Instagram stories is also huge. And boomerangs count towards those as well. And, that's going to bump up your algorithm, but you also want to make sure that every day that you're getting content out there. And like I said, right now, Instagram stories is where it's building my business. And I'm also doing just some posts on my actual page as well, maybe 1 to 2. I would say maybe 1 a day And that's going great for me as well. But stories is where I'm getting the most of my engagement at. And so when it comes to stories, I want to, I'll kind of jump into that and show you guys how that works. But as far as, getting started, just consistency is the key. It's the absolute key. Every day you have to be offering your viewers something. And then engaging in their profiles is also going to bump up your algorithm. So you're going to be spending a lot of time engaging. And remember that when you're commenting on people's pictures, that has to be more than 6 words for it to really count as engagement for your algorithm. And so that is my biggest tip for you guys, is have great photos, great content, be yourself. And I'm going to talk to just a little bit about, like, what do you want to be known for on social media? And so I have just a list of ideas for you guys, and I'll get into that in a minute, but I want to make sure that I get through all of these questions. The reach out and follow up with those that like your photos or watch your stories, but don't necessarily comment or vote, especially the ones who do so consistently. Okay, so if I notice that there's the same people who are watching my stories, or maybe they're not engaging, but I'm always like, okay, they're viewing it a lot. And just so that you know, the people who are at the top of your stories are the people who are searching your page the most. They're on your page the most, and they're also watching your stories the most. And so, like, those first 25 people are people that you want to make sure that you are messaging and engaging with, because they have their eye on you. Okay. And so when it comes to that, my message, this is so silly, but my message hasn't really changed since I got started. And here's why, is that my focus is really just getting that initial first message out. That's my biggest focus, is, okay, I need to let them know that they're on my mind, that I want them on my team. And so when I'm sending that message out, I would just say something as simple as, hey, Amanda, I think that your page has incredible content and that you'd be amazing at what I do. I'd love to tell you more. And I have a 3-sentence rule. I've always had it. It gets, when someone votes, and I do have just some scripts to read off, and I'll put that in the comments section as well. I do type out a little bit more, because I do know that they're wanting that initial message, because they are voting. And so, but it's a simple message, and you have to find what works for you and your messages. Okay. I'm comfortable with my message because I have put forward that trial and error of figuring out what does or doesn't work. What are most people responding to? And it's just a short and sweet and simple and to the point message. Okay. And then the next question is, you follow less than 1,000 people on Instagram. So who are your potentials without following? How do you find new people? And are you reaching out to those who view your story? I always reach out to people who view my story. And I do go back and forth in direct message. So I get their number very quickly, but I make sure that I go back and forth at least a few times, because that's going to bump up your algorithm, especially if they're responding. Okay. So if they're responding to your messages, that will bump up your algorithm. So make sure that you remember that. And, I don't focus as much on following people and that ratio. I feel like a lot of people get so caught up and obsessing about the ratio of following versus followers. So you want to make sure that you aren't just so focused on that you're losing time, not engaging, you're not creating new content. So don't obsess over that, because you have to realize that you could have 10 incredible potentials right at your fingertips that you're not even engaging with, because you're so worried about following all these new people. And that's just how I do it. I know that there are so many incredible girls on our team who use, I think it's called Captivate, and that's all for followers. So that's something that you can look into. And there's also been some trainings on that. However, for me, I'm still messaging people that I'm not even following, especially when they're viewing my story. And then I keep that number low just for, that's how I run my account. So that's totally up to you. Next question is, what would you suggest to someone who would like to have a style and create almost a theme to their profile, similar to blogging, but has a profile of things that aren't styled? How do we get started? Okay. So you want to start by deleting old content. clean up your page. So clean up your profile. You want to have your Facebook linked or a link tree linked up in your profile. You want to have an amazing profile image. And then you want to go through and wipe out all of your old content. And now when I say that, you guys, go through and save the captions and throw them in your notes if they're good captions, if you want to reuse them. And then you just have to start. That's the biggest thing, is if you want to have a theme or have, I know that for me, you know, on my Instagram, my photos, they're all bright and colorful. And that's kind of is my theme throughout my page. And if you want to start doing that, first of all, you have to find what's your style. You know, what are you going for? What kind of image are you going for? Black and white? Do you want bright colors? Do you want more of like the lighter pinks? Choose what style that you're going for, and then you have to just start getting content out there. People are really only looking at like your first 15 pictures when they come to your page. So you just want to make sure that you're getting those pictures filled and then going through and deleting all of your old content. Just make sure that you're editing it and saving your captions, and throw those into your notes so that you can reuse them. I reuse a lot of my posts, but I get more pictures. And, you know, when it comes to getting content and taking pictures and doing all of that, have fun with it, you guys. It doesn't, like, it's not something, get creative. And I think that for me, you know, a reason that I am good on social media is I have to be creative. I have to kind of like fill that niche within myself. And that for me fills my cup. And so when I'm out there getting creative, I'm having fun and I'm inspired. And so don't take that too seriously, because that's the best part about creating content for social media, is just getting inspired and having fun with it. Next question is, how do you organically grow your following? Any tips for new people? Okay, so if you're wanting to grow your following, consistency. You want people saving your when people start saving, let me pull this up so that I can show you guys. When people start saving your content, that is going to bump you up in the Explorer page. So when people are saving, they're saving your content, and then they're using your post and tagging you in post as well. That is going to bump up your algorithm, and you're also going to start showing up. Like, this is the Explorer page. You're going to start showing up here, which is amazing. So that's one of your goals, is to get to the Explorer page. And okay. So I'm going to show you when it comes to saving messages, because this is something that I love doing. Okay, so here is an image of me. And you can see, sorry, this is like all backwards. Okay, so here's the little flag. Well, so once you click it, it's going to go dark, okay? So then you can see now that it's dark. So that means that I've saved it. So once it's saved, you're going to go right here. Right here, and you click on those, and these are all of my saved posts. Okay, so you create collections. So I have an engaged post right here. So these are profiles that I'm engaging with right now. So when I click on it, it's going to open up all of the pictures of the profiles and the girls that I'm engaging with at the time. And then I also have business posts. So whenever, if I see a post that I'm inspired by, I'll save it. And I'm also going to show you how you can copy and paste a caption too. So then I just create collections, product posts. So if there are just some really amazing girls, I know that they always have good content, good photos. I go in and I just start saving them, and I add them to this collection. And then I had photo ideas. So I have I just take photos all the time. So under photo ideas, it's going to pull up all the pictures of different photo ideas that I want to do. So you can kind of just create collections here and do whatever you want with those. Okay. And then, so for that, so let's say that you find, okay, hold on. So let's say that you have just an amazing post that you love, that you want to copy. We'll do this one. Okay, so this is like a product post that I love. So I saved that and I added it. And then I'm going to show you how. So you're like, oh my gosh, I love her caption. It's so good. You are going to click right here, the 3 dots, and then you're going to hit copy link. So copy the link. You're going to go over to your Safari or whatever you call it. and you're just going to paste it in and hit go. Okay, and then here is the post, but now I can copy the whole post. Okay, so the whole post is copied. Copy it. I can screenshot to save the picture. And then I can upload it to my Instagram. And then I can paste the caption. So now I have an entire post. So I have the picture, I have the caption for the post, and then I'm obviously not ready to post it yet. So I'm just gonna hit go back, and then hit save draft. And then under my drafts, I have all of these photos that are all ready to post, okay? So that is just a quick way that you can get great content, and you can also edit it in your notes too. Make the caption your own. So there are some words that I know I wouldn't use, or some things that I want to add, like maybe they didn't give enough description of the product, that type of thing. But you want to make sure that you are stocking up on just great content. So I do that a lot. I spend more time on like personal posts or maybe sharing my story posts. But as far as products go, I'm making sure that I am like hoarding them, because I want to make sure that I'm working smarter and not harder. And so that helps me if I just save them in my drafts. Okay, so next question is, how do you choose how you add to your network? How are you making sure that your followers are constantly growing? My followers are always growing because I'm consistent and I know that I'm offering great content. And consistency, honestly, you guys, is the key. Like I said, you will bump up your algorithm if people are saving your posts, if they're adding them to their collections, if they're if they're tagging you in posts. Like, so let's say that they take one of your captions or one of your photos and they tag you in it, that's going to bump up your algorithm as well. And okay, so also geotagging is huge, because when you're engaging in the community, that's your photos and your stories. So when you are, like, let's say that you're out to eat, tag the restaurant on your stories and on your actual posts. That's going to bump up your algorithm, because they're going to see that you're using the community, the Instagram community. So that is going to bump up your algorithm as well. And then also, I do have some myths that have been like busted that I wanted to share with you guys. Shadow banning with hashtags is not a thing, okay? Placement of hashtags doesn't matter where you place them, in the caption or in the comments, it doesn't matter. And your audience, now here's the thing, is with your hashtags, your audience might care if you post them in the actual caption or in the comments, so keep an eye out for that. But you can place them in the comments. And then there was also kind of a rumor that if you post a photo and then you edit the caption, that it like cuts off your algorithm, but it doesn't. That doesn't affect it at all. So I do want to make sure that I share that with you guys. Okay, so how do I choose to add to my network? I am constantly looking for who is going to be my next rock star in my business. And that's who I'm adding to my network. That's who I'm engaging with on their profiles. That is really, and that's something that you have to decide for yourself, is what are you looking for in a business partner, okay? And once you have that decided, then it's up to you how you choose who you're adding to your network. It's such a personal thing. Now, let's see, how are you making sure that your followers are constantly growing? Consistency. And I'm also adding to my network, I did write down, based on the people's content that I enjoy and relationships that I want to build for my business. And I'm always offering content and engaging with those people as well, which is growing my following too. Okay, maybe this is before blogging, or how can we do this? After adding to your network, what is the process like of messaging if you message soon after adding them? Like I said, I would just send something so short, so sweet, so simple. And I'm so confident in messaging because I know that my page looks great. I know that my content looks great. My images look great. And I'm confident in that. So I'm not afraid to just message someone. So you'll get to that point, clean up your page, delete old content, you have to just start, with really identifying who do you want to be online. And so that is huge. But as far as, that message, it's the same thing. Hey, Amanda, I love your content. I think you'd be really amazing at what I do. I would love to tell you more. And simple as that. Do I cold message? Yes, I will cold message if I see great potential. Absolutely, I'll cold message. But like I said, my content, I'm confident. Let's see. What is your main goal when creating a story? My main goal is engagement. It is creating something that inspires someone or makes them want to always be watching my stories. And so I'm going to show you guys kind of how I create a story and what that looks like, which is so exciting. Okay. So this is a story that I have created, and you can see too, like her flipping her hair, that's the GIF. So when in the new Instagram update, you have GIFs, and that's kind of what these hearts are too. So the heart's moving, the girl flipping her hair, those are all GIFs. And I just grabbed this. So I just grabbed this image and I open it in an Instagram story, and everything here is through the Instagram app. So there are times when I'll use third-party apps, but a lot of the time I'm trying to use the most of what I can in the Instagram app, because it's going to bump up my algorithm because they notice that I'm using the tools that they're providing. Okay. So here is just one of the fonts, and it says just open up 3 more 90-day VIP hair growth challenge spots for March to May. And then I said $32 monthly, and then I just got creative and added the little hearts. And then I added this girl who's like flipping her hair, which is so fun. And then I created a poll. So it says, Mimi, sign me up, and then message me ASAP. So I always will do sign me up, or I'll do a sign me up one on one side and then message me on the other. And I don't really do like yes or no, because I mean, if no, then if you're not going to vote if it's no. And speaking of that, you will let people vote who don't mean to vote, just so that you know it's going to happen. But the more content that you're offering and kind of how that looks, people will start voting more on purpose. I promise. Okay, let me pull up another one just so that I can show you how. Let me look on my other phone. Okay. And then I get so many images, you guys, from Instagram or from Pinterest that I'll use, and I'll write on them. And that for me is so helpful because their pictures are just gorgeous. So let me pull this up for you. Okay. So this is like an image that I have taken, and it's something that I would probably put in a story, and I would write right up here. I would write something like, maybe I would probably do like a poll or something. And so having just like great images like that is awesome. And I do, like, here is one. And so I just recently made this. I hope that you guys can see this. So you can see, I'm just going to write something like, what if this business could change your life? What if you were one of the few to earn a $5,000 bonus? This could be you. And so then I just kind of made that with little question marks as like, what if that was you inside of there? And the reason that I do that and how I do that is because when you're doing your Instagram stories, you guys, and there's not a certain number that you have to be doing every single day. So that's up to you. I do about like 5 to 10, some days 15, because I know that that's where a lot of my business is coming in from. And so that is huge for me. However, you kind of have to mess around and play around with it to see what that number is for you. It could be less or it could be more. So for designing my Instagram stories, what I use is, I'm going to read off these apps, but I'm also going to put it in the notes section. So Rona, WordSwag, HypeType, Pinterest, and then like you'll see, let me show you this. Okay, so this one with Jess. So I just grabbed a blank image from Pinterest. I have that photo of her and I in my phone. So I went to Design Lab and I just put that on top of the photo. And so then from there, I just drew the arrow, and I'll write a lot of things with my fingers. So I just drew an arrow with my finger, and then I just started adding just these little things. This is all through the Instagram app. So I started adding all these little things, and kind of how it looks whenever you're going through it. I added one at a time. So I had like all of these already in my notes to just copy and paste over. But if you saw this, you would see that like the first thing that popped up was this, and then you went to the next story, and then this popped up, and then you went to the next one, and this popped up all the way to the bottom where it says she was a 2017 top 100 income earner. Okay. So this is through, I got a Pinterest background. I added a photo of us onto this just through, it's called Design Lab. It used to be Pick Lab, but now it's called Design Lab. And then I drew the arrow by myself, and then I just started adding these little things. So this would be cool for you to do, to share people's stories. And it would also kind of get you outside of your comfort zone to start asking people for photos with them so that you can create content like this as well. Okay, next question is, what apps are you using? Do you mind walking us through making one of your polls and stories? We just did that. Okay, what is the biggest difference between Facebook and Instagram as far as trying for potentials and sealing the deal? Honestly, there's not really a huge difference. You just have to work where your business is growing. So right now for me, mine is Instagram. Facebook, you can do Facebook stories, and you're going to see that the engagement there is probably a little bit lower. But that's okay. The more that you use it, the more you'll probably get engagement. But right now for me, I'm doing mostly Instagram because it's working so much for me. What's your sealing the deal routine with Instagram? Okay. So I'm going to read you some like sample messages. So if I did a poll, okay, so I have two different ones I'm going to read to you guys. So this one says, so she voted on one of my polls, and I just said, hey, Danny. And she said, hey, Alyssa. I said, how are you? Remember, like I said, you guys, you do want to make sure that you're kind of going back and forth a little bit to build that algorithm up. Okay. And so I said, hey, Danny. She said, hey, Alyssa. I said, how are you? And she goes, I'm good. How about you? I said, yay, I'm great. I saw your vote. I'd love to tell you more. Would it be okay to text you? And she said, yeah, for sure. And then I said, okay, great. I'm so excited to chat. And then she gave me her number, and she said, it's in Canada. So then I jumped right over to text, and I'll read that to you guys. I keep it so simple, you guys. Okay. Let me go here. So now that I have her number, I said, hey, Danny, it's Alyssa Bilyeu. She said, hey, Alyssa, how are you? I said, I'm great. How are you? She said, I'm good, thanks. I said, I'm so excited to chat with you. Can you tell me more about you? So as soon as I get her number and I get her on to text, I want her to start telling me about herself. So she said, I'm 31 years old, Brazilian girl, married to a Canadian guy, living in one of the most coldest places in Canada. I'm a mother to 2 kids. Our daughter's 3.5 and our son is 14 months. I work as a bank teller, and that's basically it. And so I just said, I've never been to Canada. I'm sure it's so beautiful. How did you and your husband meet? So I'm just kind of going back and forth and just trying to get to know her a little bit. And so then she told me more about her. And so we were just chatting back and forth. And I said, I'm so excited to tell you about It Works. Are you familiar with us? And she said, I'm not really familiar. I would love to know more. I know about the wraps, but that's it. And so immediately from there, I just told her, I have just a little script that I copy and paste over. And I said, It Works is a debt-free health and wellness company. We're mostly known for our skinny wraps. And then I went through all of that. And at the end, I said, we are the only wrap on the market, and you can work your business from your phone, which is my absolute favorite part because I'm always on the go. I love having the freedom to work wherever I want. And then I said, as soon as I sent that, I sent what monthly income could give you guys some breathing room. And she said, wow, I didn't know that you guys had so many products. You know, anything at this time would help. My husband has a good job, and me as a bank teller, I don't get paid that much. Seems like we do fine. We can pay the bills and everything. We just can't do anything extra, like eating out, buying clothes and stuff like that. So then we just kind of got into talking about how it's possible to, you know, to make, she said that they would like an extra $2,000 a month. And so I'm kind of just walking her through that and talking about that. And then I said, I'm going to send you some more information about getting started, and then we can go over all of your questions. And then I sent her, I have just like this long text that I send that kind of goes through how much is it to join, monthly cost, your back office, what do I do once I join? And then that's it. And then we'll go over her questions and get her all signed up. So that is as simple as that is. And then next I have, this is, and I'll put these in the comments as well, but I said, it's just whenever they vote. I said, hey, beautiful, I saw your vote on my story about joining my It Works team. I'm so excited to chat and tell you more. Do you have a monthly income goal in mind? You'll love this business so much. And then this girl said, 2,500 would be nice. And I said, can I text you more info? And she said, absolutely, and gave me her number. And then same conversation is going on in my text as it was with Danny. And I just keep it so simple, you guys, that so that, you know, not only for my sake, but also that they can see how simple this really is. And that is encouraging for them, especially if they are wanting to get started. Yes, Sarah, I will make sure to post that as well. Okay, so next, I just have a few more notes just to go over with you guys. Okay, shout out to others. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is choosing, you know, what do you want to be known for on social media? And that's something that you really just kind of want to think about and take time to you know, to see, okay, like what purpose do I want to make online? And this isn't something that will be done overnight. You know, I've been in this social media world for 7 years, and everything is always changing except for, you know, what do I like, what mark do I want to make? And so just some ideas of things that maybe you want to be known for is mom on a mission, or dad life, or fitness, whether it's CrossFit, bar, yoga, running, outdoor life. So paddleboarding, yoga, hiking, meditation, sports, coaching, healthy cooking, glam, hustle, faith, leadership, financial education tips, personal development, fashion, style, trending, health. So you have to, and I'll put this in the comments as well, but you have to kind of decide, you know, what do you want to be known for online? Because you don't have to be me on social media. I want you to be yourself. That's how you're going to grow the most natural following. And that's how you're going to grow a community of people who stick with you from this moment on, is by being authentic and being yourself and kind of knowing, you know, what do you stand for on social media. And so that is something that you do want to be thinking about as well. And then I think that is, I've answered every question. If you guys have any questions, you can put it in the comment section and I'll stay on here for a second and answer any of those if you have them. And then, like I said, you guys, I'll put this content, like some of my messages and about getting started and what is It Works. I'll put all of that in the little note section that I just added on here as well. Oh, you guys are welcome. I'm so glad you liked it. If there are no questions, I'm going to jump off here and I'm going to start adding all of this info. Oh, there was one more thing that I was going to tell you guys, is creating your highlight images. Okay. Let me just show you this because this is going to be really helpful for you guys. If you don't have engagement on stories, and how do you seek out potentials? Okay, so if you don't have engagement on your stories, you want to make sure that you're starting to engage on the people that are following you. When you're doing that, when you're engaging, you're going to bump to the front. So there's like I think that they say the most people that you're engaging with, about like the first 20 are going to be bumped to the front of your stories. So Christina, you want to make sure that the people who are following you, that those are the people that you are engaging with, because when you start engaging with them, you're going to bump to the front of their stories. So like these are the girls on mine, and like so I have Emily, and then Ashley, Destiny. So these girls are at the front of my or at the front of my lineup, because I'm engaging with them the most, or we're messaging in direct messenger, or I'm commenting on their photos, or just that kind of thing. So make sure that you are engaging with the people who are following you, and that will help. But here's what I was going to tell you guys. Okay. So obviously you have stories, but now you also have that option to have highlights right here. And this is going to be really helpful for you. And it isn't something that you have to do right away, but you are going to want to kind of create these images. And so how I do mine, and I'm just going to go and show you, because you can honestly make these anywhere. And okay, so like this one says give. So it's the full, so like on Rona, you can select, so I just saved this background from Pinterest, and then you can select on Rona, on iPhone, there's like an iPhone, let me just show you because I don't want to confuse you. Okay, so open up Rona, and then you select a photo. I'll just do a random photo, and you can do this with your stories as well. Okay, so let's say that I select this photo. So I have this photo, sorry, I keep on. Okay, iPhone. So down here it says phone. That's going to scale it because you can see the original size, and then phone. So that's going to fit it exactly to the iPhone. And so that's how, like if I'm grabbing images online, I'll edit them in this way first, just because it's not going to lose any of the coloring, and it just is going to be very crisp and clean. Okay. So I'll save this to where it says phone, and then I will save it. And then on WordSwag, you can, okay, so then if you're on Rona, so let's say you're on Rona, you guys can search through all of these icons, okay? Like, so let's say we do whatever you want. So if you want, okay, so Instadoodle. So like, let's say that you want something, so you have a background, a clear background. Well, you see like this little light bulb, you could do something that says like inspiration under it. So once you have it saved, the image saved, so this would be a blank background, obviously, with this on top of it. And then you can save that. And so once it's saved, I just go to WordSwag and I open it. And that is how I create this, this font here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, this font here. And then the AB up in the corner. That's all from WordSwag. And then I just upload it. And then once you do that, you can create, you'll add it to your story, and then you can create your highlights images here. And it's super, super simple. Okay. So that is the last thing that I did want to make sure that I show you guys. If you have any questions about that, you can also message me. But I'm going to start adding this content to the thread, and then I want to know your guys' aha moments, what you took away the most. And if you do have any questions, you can just write them in the comment section. I'm so excited for you guys. You know, Instagram's huge right now. It's where I'm building my entire business. So if you have questions, send those over, and I will talk to you guys soon.